everyone, welcome back to Carscopia, your go-to place for deep dives into the most talked about cars on the market. Today, we're taking a long-awaited look at a nameplate that's been revived with both nostalgia and modern performance in mind, the 2025 Honda Prelude. This isn't just a rebadge or a tribute, it's a full-on return of a Honda icon, and after spending some quality time with it, we've got a lot to say. Let's start by addressing what you're probably already thinking. Yes, the Prelude is back. And no, it's not the tuner coupe from the late 90s, it's something entirely new, a hybrid performance coupe that aims to slot between the practicality of the Civic and the athleticism of the Civic Type R, with just enough refinement to give the Accord Coupe a spiritual successor. What we've got here is a two-door sports hybrid with a sleek profile, a low stance, and something that's been missing from Honda's lineup for too long, a coupe that's both daily drivable and genuinely fun. When you first lay eyes on the new Prelude, you can tell Honda designers really wanted this to feel like a new chapter, not just a recycled name. The front fascia is aggressive, featuring narrow LED headlights that stretch horizontally into the fenders, giving it a sharp and focused expression. The signature Honda badge sits neatly centered in a gloss black grille, flanked by bold C-shaped accents that act like intakes, even though they're more about aesthetics than airflow. The hood has just enough contouring to hint at power without looking over-sculpted. There's a blend of elegance and sportiness that Honda has absolutely nailed here. It doesn't scream tuner car, but it does whisper precision. Moving around to the side, the silhouette is where the magic really starts to show. The Prelude's proportions are low and sleek, with a fastback roofline that glides seamlessly into the rear deck. You'll notice the long hood and the short rear overhang, classic sports coupe ratios. It rides on 19-inch machine-finished wheels with a 5-split-spoke design that adds an aggressive edge. Subtle character lines run from the front fender through the doors, and the shoulder line leads your eyes to the rear, creating motion even when the car is parked. The frameless doors add a touch of premium flair. From this angle, it really gives off a modern GT car vibe, less Civic coupe, more Mini Acura. The rear end might be the best part of the whole exterior package. You've got this clean, sculpted look that doesn't rely on unnecessary add-ons. A full-width LED light bar connects to tail lights, and the slightly raised trunk clip gives it a naturally integrated spoiler feel. The rear bumper is simple but athletic, with a subtle diffuser and clean lines that taper inwards toward the center. Honda's gone for a dual exhaust look, but it's hitting more in line with hybrid efficiency than hot hatch styling. Overall, the rear manages to look wide, planted, and performance-focused without trying too hard. It's restrained in all the right ways. Now, opening the door and stepping inside, you'll find a cabin that's more sophisticated than you might expect from a Honda coupe. It borrows design language from the Civic and Accord interiors but dials it up a notch. You're greeted by a clean, horizontal dash layout with a honeycomb mesh air vent trim that runs the width of the dash, adding both visual width and cohesion. The digital instrument cluster is crisp and fully configurable, while the central infotainment screen stands tall and intuitive, offering wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Honda's new interface is finally up to par, responsive, minimal, and easy to navigate. The seats are a standout. Bolstered sport buckets wrapped in a suede-like material with contrast stitching provide both comfort and grip. They're heated, and depending on trim, you might get ventilation as well. There's a subtle red accent theme throughout the cabin on the start button, the gauge cluster, and the stitching that hints at the car's sporty intentions. The steering wheel is thick-rimmed and leather-wrapped, with tactile controls that don't feel overloaded. Paddle shifters behind the wheel suggest this car wants you to get involved, even though it's a hybrid. Space-wise, the Prelude is surprisingly usable. Front passengers will have no trouble finding a good seating position, with plenty of legroom and headroom thanks to the low-slung but thoughtful design. The rear seats, while more of a 2+2 arrangement, are usable for short trips or smaller passengers, certainly more forgiving than the average sports coupe. Trunk space is decent too, with a wide opening and fold-down rear seats, giving you practicality that you don't often get in this segment. Now let's talk about what's under the hood, because this is where the Prelude distinguishes itself. Instead of going full EV or traditional combustion, Honda's chosen the hybrid route. The 2025 Prelude is powered by a dual-motor hybrid system borrowed from the Accord hybrid but retuned for a sportier delivery. You've got a 2.0-liter Atkinson cycle inline-4 engine paired with two electric motors for a combined output of around 204 horsepower and 247 pounds-feet of torque. While those numbers might not scream performance car, the torque curve and instant response from the electric motors tell a different story on the road. Power is sent to the front wheels through Honda's unique ECVT system, which behaves more like a direct drive unit in most conditions. It's not a traditional transmission, but Honda's software tuning gives it a more linear and engaging power delivery than you'd expect. There's also a drive mode selector with Eco, Normal, Sport, and individual modes, tweaking throttle response, steering weight, and power delivery. In Sport mode, The Prelude is surprisingly eager. Off-the-line acceleration feels brisk thanks to electric torque, and the steering is sharp and well-weighted. It's no Civic Type R, but it absolutely holds its own as a sport-oriented daily. What really stands out is the chassis balance. Honda's suspension tuning is on point, offering a blend of compliance and cornering grip that feels confident in the twisties but never punishing in daily driving. There's a multi-link rear setup and strut front, with a slightly stiffer tune than the Accord but not as harsh as the Type R. You'll enjoy driving this car whether you're commuting, carving up a back road, or just heading out for a weekend cruise. It's the kind of hybrid that rewards engagement. In terms of safety and tech, the 2025 Prelude comes loaded with Honda Sensing as standard. That includes adaptive cruise control, lane keeping assist, collision mitigation braking, traffic sign recognition, and a new feature, lane change assist, which automatically changes lanes on the highway with just a tap of the turn signal. Add in a 12-speaker Bose premium sound system, a heads-up display, wireless charging, and available navigation, and this feels like a modern Honda flagship, just in coupe form. As for pricing, Honda has positioned the Prelude smartly. The base model starts around $33,000, which gets you the hybrid powertrain, a full suite of safety features, and a solid interior. The Touring trim tops out near $38,000, with premium upholstery, the Bose sound system, and extra driver assistance tech. That puts it just above the Civic C and below the Type R, making it a compelling middle ground for those who want style and substance without going full track weapon. Now, is the 2025 Honda Prelude the perfect car? Not quite. Some enthusiasts will wish it had a manual transmission, or even a more aggressive powertrain. Others may want all-wheel drive or a full-EV variant. But what Honda has delivered is a sharp-looking, genuinely fun, and remarkably livable coupe that bridges the gap between performance and practicality in a way very few cars do anymore. The Prelude returns not just as a name from the past, but as a relevant, future-facing hybrid that proves Honda still knows how to build a car for drivers. It's sleek, smart, and satisfying, exactly the kind of car we wish more automakers were willing to make in 2025. That wraps up our in-depth look at the all-new 2025 Honda Prelude. If you enjoyed this review, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you never miss a ride with us here on CarScope. Drop your thoughts about the Prelude in the comments. Would you pick this over a Civic C, or does it leave you wanting more? Until next time, drive safe, stay curious, and keep